Hello and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordish, joined by Superintendent Hime for the last week before fall break.
Crazy. Fall break's next week.
Yes, and the weather is beautiful, you guys.
You know, we talk about this all the time because people always ask, how do you take a week? Why do you take a week? Well, the law really says you go to school so many days. It doesn't say how many days you get off. So you can take your calendar, most schools do, somewhere between August and May. You got to pick 170 days that are considered in-school days, and that includes parent-teacher conferences and some PD days and such. We actually, our teachers are on a 180-day contract, so there's actually in that calendar 180 work days for our teachers. Now that includes PD, parent-teacher conference, and there's actually one day in there for them to do their GCN training. So when we look at the calendar, we say, hey, instead of just taking 2, 3, even sometimes 4 days off on this week, let's just take the whole week. And I think everybody loves it. I really like it. It's a good time to travel, go see family because everybody's not traveling. It's just a great time. And
it's that unique break where you're not obligated, like you said, to see family, where it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or spring break. But fall break is just that.
And we know for a fact that in the past, Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day, that Monday was the highest absentee day in the district just because it was a federal holiday, people could travel. So we started taking that day off, and if we're taking Thursday, Friday off like everybody else for fall break, it leaves you 3 days in the middle. Again, we plug a parent-teacher conference in there, and boom, we're out for the week.
Right, and then lots of things going on. So next week is fall break, you guys.
Enjoy.
That's it. Now we have some important things about forms that we want to make sure our families did. We sent the Impact Aid cards home last week. We really need those back.
You got to have them back.
As soon
we
as
talk
possible.
about this, when you look around, and we'll talk about some of the things we do, but the money to do those things is created because you as parents and you as teachers get those forms in and get them to the central office where we can put those on our books and get the funding that those forms generate. So please work extra hard, and if you've got one, please send it. If somebody sends you a second one and you already sent it, just know that we might have lost it. We've got 14,000 of them coming back in, and we appreciate all the help all the parents and teachers do getting those forms in.
And then the community eligibility form was the one we sent digitally.
Yes.
And then it also may have been a paper copy from our
probably filled it out
teachers.
a parent teacher if you haven't. So some of you may be on your second or third time, but hopefully we get those. Most of those are in, and most of them are eligible, and we're doing really well on those forms. But again, if you get one, please just fill it out and send it.
And then last week, we are going to talk about, because it was the first time, now soccer, it's happened before, and it was it's
varsity
great for
football.
That's it.
Varsity football in the history of Lawton Public Schools, Lawton MacArthur played the first on-site home football game, and they even shot it out there and tried homecoming. So the crowd was big. I've heard great reviews. The atmosphere, the crowd, just being there on site, the kids loved it. And so, obviously, first time ever, there's going to be a few kinks and bubbles and things we need to do better. But overall, huge success. Big shout out to the people at MAC. I mean, obviously trying to figure out parking and people getting through gates and making sure we had adequate for handicap. And, for a handicap, it's also not having it, it's knowing where it's at. If you went last week and you go again, you're going to know where to go, where to park. And so some of that's new to them. So I know there was a little more angst for those people. We tried to work through that. But hopefully, and if you're handicapped and you want to go to a game, because we're still going to do it at the Ike, and we're going to do it at Lawton High, although we got a fiber wire over the cross where the bleachers go, holding Lawton High up. But when it happens for the first time, if you are handicapped or you know someone is handicapped, have them contact the school, and so they can know where to park, where they're going to sit, so they have good, easy access to it, because obviously they have more angst because it's a little harder for them to get to their seat, and they have no idea where they're going to sit. So hopefully those things get worked out in the future.
And we had an after action, and I did go that evening, and it was just the environment and the students and everybody running around and playing with the kids. So it was
the
fun
home
to
football
see that.
game.
That's it.
It was truly for MAC, a home football game. They didn't have to drive 20 minutes across town to play football. So, and there were some questions I saw about inner city guys.
Oh, that's
again,
true. Yes.
Once again, when MAC plays Ike, it'll be at Cameron. When MAC plays Lawton High, it'll be at Cameron. When Lawton High and Ike play, it'll be at Cameron for as long as we can continue to work that contract with them. The new president and myself have already talked. He's planning on putting money in Cameron, and there's a big push to clean up that stadium somewhat. So
Not all the games will be at their
No,
home school
that's never
because
meant to
of
be.
seating.
Because that homecoming game with Oklahoma City not bringing a crowd, we maxed that stadium out. But that's what we wanted. We wanted our kids to feel more of an atmosphere on those games, especially as you get later in the year when not as many people attend, the weather's bad. You can play right there at home. On our turf, our field, you know, to me as a football coach, our kids never got to play on a field that had their logo on it. Now think about that. To me, that's amazing. We used to spend hours painting a logo, I coached at different schools, but we'd spend hours painting the logo in the middle of the field so our kids got to play on the logo. We'd paint the names in the end zones so our kids got to play on that. And so these student athletes getting that for the first time was really important, and I think it's a big thing. And I think if you go talk to them, it was a big deal to them. And they won convincingly.
There
so
you go.
And I believe Lawton High won this week as well. So we got 2 wins in football this weekend. Lawton Eisenhower was off, but so it was a good week for football. And I know we're rolling into playoffs for softball and some of those things, so be sure and get online and find when your team's playing and support them.
And support the kids, that's right. Now another big first that we're going to do, and that's going to happen this week, is the pumpkin patch.
Oh yes,
we are hosting
for our pre-K,
ever.
we're hoping in a pumpkin patch out at the ag farms or the farms out by the bus barn. If you don't know where that's at, just west of the bus barn, and that's where our new hog barn is. Thanks for those doing it. I believe Loopy's really helped us out with Loopy Construction, and I know that Sullivan Farms, I believe, is the one who brought out the hay bales and things to help us with the pumpkin patch. But please go out there and say, who donated the pumpkin? Where did we get the pumpkins?
Well, we purchased those because we want to make sure our kids have a pumpkin.
Yes.
And then lots of great volunteers that have been out there. Our students will be out there,
Yes.
our ag students.
Very excited about that.
Lots of community sponsors.
That is Tuesday 7th
and then Wednesday
the 8th.
And then this week we actually have, speaking of right now when we're doing our podcast, a Be the Better You.
Yes.
Will Shields
Will
and his
Shields,
team.
yes.
And we're excited to
Hall
have
of Famer
him.
from Lawton High.
That's it. And we named a street after him.
Yes.
So he is here, and we're excited to have
Yes.
them speaking with our students in the secondary. Another big thing before we go for our podcast, we started this year talking about it's been 40 years for you in education. And we want to kind of help people understand what another announcement brought. I feel like it just happened, but last week.
Last Monday night, I told the board, I truly have the best job. I love my job. People know me. I'm at work by 6:30 most every morning. I always to work by 7. I love to come to work. I love work. There's nobody in the office that thinks I hate being there. And I do have the best job, except I have 7 grands, and being popped to those 7 grands when they're 3 hours and 7 hours, and I mean the distance and the travel, it's just there's so many of them, giving them the time they deserve, and that time is not forever. They're growing up fast, and so I will be 62 in May. So I announced on June 30th, the end of this school year will be my last. I will be retiring from the superintendent of Lawton Public Schools. Now, understand you make that announcement early so that it gives the board time to do a really good search, gives somebody else time to get in and learn, and they can have whatever they want from me. Obviously, as Barry Beecham will tell you, I still call Barry Beecham. So he still works for Lawton Public. So I'll always be available because cell phones are there. They can call me. But it gives that transition time to happen. We have a lot of great things going. And the big thing with that is when you get to about February or March in a district the size of Lawton, when you start hitting February, March, 95% of the decisions made out of my office are for 26-27 or the next school year. So whoever's coming in needs to have input in those decisions. In that transition, we can work with the board and kind of make that as smooth as we can and get them on board as quick as possible to start making some of those decisions.
So we just wanted to share that, and congratulations, and don't worry, you guys, we're going to work him until the end. And even when he's gone, that's right.
I guarantee you, I'm still here and accounted for every day.
That's
and again, I love my job. It's just one of those things that you hit that point in life, like you said, 40
popped.
years,
Yes.
and I had 2 new babies last year, as you know, we talked about it. I had 2 new grands last year, and I had
They've come closer to the state.
and a couple of them moved in there, so I can, they're just closer where I can go see them and spend time, and then it allows where I can go make the 5-hour drive or 6-hour drive to Austin area and not be rushed to get back because I got to be at work Monday morning. So I'm excited, but I am, it's a little heartfelt because, again, This has been great for me. It's been a great job. We've had some successes. And when I say we, I tell the staff all the time, it's been a team effort. I've gotten lots of accolades and whatever, and people say, Mr. Hime, this. Guys, it's been a team effort. And I've had the greatest team in the world, and a big shout out to them. And our teachers are awesome. Great board.
Support staff.
And in the same board meeting, it kind of got in my, here I tried to take the thunder. Well, no, Ryan Walters tried to take my thunder because I was resigning to retire, and so he quit. He could have waited and quit before I retired. But our Board of Education did announce, big shout out to the Board of Education, they approved the $2,500 Christmas bonus for all certified teachers and the $1,750 Christmas bonus for our support staff for this year, which we call it a holiday stipend or
holiday
whatever,
bonus, and will be in November.
And it comes out in November, the Friday before Thanksgiving, because we've always thought strategically you get that over Thanksgiving break while you're out to go shopping.
That's it, and it's exciting. So thank you, board, and we are most appreciative.
Yes.
And then thank you, Mr. Hime, for all you've done. And again,
we're not leaving yet.
We're not
still here.
done working. We've still got a lot of great projects.
Still more
coming.
podcasts.
And more podcasts and more things. And we're going to have some special guests after fall break. Everybody has just been trying to get through the first 9 weeks, which when we come back, second 9 weeks and our second leg of the semester. So give them our email and our webpage.
If you got questions, info at lawtonps.org, and then our webpage is lawtonps.org. And down in the bottom right-hand corner of that webpage is a little question thing. It's called the Format. It's a chat bot, and it's a Format, and you know all kinds of questions. We need to name it. We've talked about that.
Yes.
So we'll get with our seniors or our juniors, maybe even 8th graders or something, and let them name it. So
we got to get a personality to it.
Yes.
We'll work on that.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Hime, until not next week, but the week after.
Yes.
You guys be well, stay safe, make positive impacts, and have a great fall break.